What's going on, guys? My name's Max, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and strategies on playing GB Respawn. And in this video we're going to be playing some hardpoint. In the future I want to make some uplink, CTF, and S&D videos, but for right now we're going to be playing some. I'm going to be showing some hardpoint. As you can see here, we've got control of the middle hardpoint, and the first thing I did is flip the spawns because I like this side better, and because it's probably better just because it's easier to funnel through tunnel to the next hardpoint, which is to my right. It's called Scrapyard. Well, we call it Scrapyard. And another good strategy is if you're playing AR or you're anchoring, you want to be in a spot where you can see over this hardpoint and you can get picks on people. So the barn is a really good spot for this. That other head glitch is also a very good spot for this. And on the other side where I started, I know I went to Z instead of doing what I'm about to say, but going to the white truck and head glitching is also a good idea. But right here I'm going to start rotating over to alley. So is the rest of my team. I'm just going to pre-aim this and try and give my SMG players some support, and I'm going to be watching them funnel through tin. I pick one guy up here, even though I think I get stunned by my teammate. And a good strategy here, I know I'm not doing it, but you could boost up onto those barrels and just watch tin window. If they get close to you, you can switch to your secondary. I recommend running either an MR6 or an RK5, or what you can do here is just pick up a Vesper you find on the ground or any other submachine gun and kind of play the hill a bit, run around. You can pull out your AR if you think they're going to get closer, but if you think they're going to be pre-aiming it or throwing stuns at you or something, but you just want to hold down that hill. I'm going to be rotating around here, trying to push through tin a bit, just so we start spawning in the back, because the hill is about to flip, and on this hill, this is probably another good spot to watch their spawns. If you're using an AR, you're going to be wanting to pre-aim in this hallway, or you're going to be wanting to go over to the right and pre-aim the railroad. But if you're in this spot, you can watch hallway, and you can even watch window if they're in the hill. I'm just trying to hold spawns for my team right now, and as you can see, they're spawning over to the hallway to my left, and we're funneling into the hard point. I'm going to rotate over here and watch them come from railroad. You can just head glitch these barrels. You just want to try and make sure you stay alive if you're back there, because if you lose the spawns, then it's really hard to break the Grandma's Hill without a person in the back spawn. So if you're anchoring, try and get into this spot, or just try and watch them come from hallway. They're either going to be coming from hallway, or they're going to rotate all around from railroad. Don't even worry about the guys coming from middle. Those guys will be taken care of by your other players. You just need to concentrate on the three spots, so window, railroad, and then hallway. And I'm going to be taken out here for trying to push too much, and I'm just going to rotate all the way around and get ready for the next hard point, which is going to be in the railroad. So once you get set up railroad side, you can play this hill a bit. You're going to want to just try and keep them out of the... It's really hard to actually keep them out of this hill, but this is usually one that's contested a lot, and you're either going to spawn all the way back here in back alley, or you're going to spawn back by the globe and you're going to push from the right side. But once you come back from this alley, just try and get control of it. Try and flip the spawn if you really want to, but this, like I said, this one's going to be contested a lot. So once you push through here, you want to get this spawn. This is the desired one. I usually pull out my scythe around this time, because this is usually when I get my specialist if you run overclock. If you run afterburner, it might be a little later, but this is the time I tend to get it. And it's good. You can just pre-aim here, try and keep them out of the lanes, and let the people with the SMGs push the ones that are just in the corners in the middle or hiding behind the train. So next you want to set up and get ready for the hard point middle. They're either going to be pushing all the way through railroad, or they're going to push through middle, like through there. And if you come for this side, you can just set up barn, get some easy kills off the hard point, call them out to your other players. And it's good if there's a guy bricks. Once you push, if you're on that side, you always want to have a player go bricks, because that's a really good spot to pick people off this hard point. But I'm either going to be rotating on from Z, or I'm going to be head glitching white truck right here. I don't know why I'm trying to push the hard point, but you can also see into bricks if you're playing in Z, and you can also see this little head glitch there. But once you get down to the few seconds where you start to rotate, you're going to want to set up for the next hill, which is going to be Scrapyard again. Bricks is a good spot to try and catch people rotating. but I'm gonna try and push the desirable spawn and start having our team spawn alleys, which they just did behind me. And then I'm gonna come up here, head glitch this, and catch them off their rotation coming through tin. So once you set up here, basically same as the last time we are on the hill. Pre-aim wherever they're going to be coming from. If they start trying to come behind you and push your spawn, then you can pre-aim middle. But they're basically either if they're coming from all the way in the back, they're either going to be coming from tin or from bricks. As you can see here, they tried pushing our spawn. I caught one, and then I get picked by the guy that's on the barrels or on the wood pallet. But if you're on this side, you basically just want to play the hill, try and keep them out of the alleyway, and just try and keep control of the alleyway. That's what I do when I have an AR, is just try and have alleyway control. If I'm not in the hill and they have control of it, I might jump up on the middle fence and try and just pick people off out of the hill, but you have to double jump a lot. It's a lot easier if you have afterburner. Then once you get down to the last few winding seconds, you want to push through tin and get to your next spot. And it's basically just systematically, I basically do the same thing as a system. I have the same spots where I want to go to, I have the same areas where I want to control every time. That was just pretty bad timing with my RC, but basically you want to hold the spawns, you want to get the ideal spawns, and you want to put yourself in the right position to have the best lines of sight. And as you can see here, what I'm trying to do is just push through tin, and this is probably not the best thing to do. The better play would be to just wrap all the way around left and go through railroad, because it's harder to get picks through there or to go through middle. It's really easy for them to cover this way, and it can get really congested because if you're a lot of teammates, like right here, 3 people, and we just get rippered. So instead of doing that, do what I'm doing here, go back around, push either middle or push railroad, especially if the rotation starts, because if it's close to rotating, then you're gonna be middle or railroad anyway. So I'm gonna be little room here. I'm just gonna try and pick this trophy, try and get rid of this guy. This is probably a bad spot for an AR. Instead would just to loop around left and just to pre-aim the long way, but you have to try and just play situational. And as you can see, they're going to be swarming me here. I'm just going to try and contest this for as long as I can, and then the rest of my team is going to be holding spawns and pushing up from the back. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to try and slay them off the hill, contest it as long as possible, just prevent them from getting any points, because we do have the lead in this situation. And again, I get my scythe here, and I recommend using the scythe if you're trying to play this role, because it's really good for the spots that you'll probably be in, because it'll just add to the firepower that you have. So up here, you're gonna want to either push head glitch on this thing, or you're gonna want to go Z and just try and catch them off the rotation, just shoot the guys going middle that are spawning back alley. I'm gonna start getting set up for the next rotation, which is middle, and I'm just gonna catch them off their rotation. So it's really just experience and just knowing where they're gonna be coming from. And as you can see, I pick like 2 or 3 people around here, and then I start setting up for the next one. So once they flip spawns, I'm going to move up and try and get barn control, would be the ideal thing. But as you can see, I die here, so I'm all the way back there. And I think I'm going to try and push their spawn again, because it's early in the hill, and I know I can get the guys that are trying to hold back their spawn. So I'm going to come back here, sit in this corner so the guy that's in barn can't see me, and just get the people coming out of little room. Then I'm going to try and push barn. And barn is probably the ideal spot for this hill in my opinion, because you can shoot the people in the back if you push through alley. And it's really easy to take control of the hill if you're in barn, because you can see everyone basically. And the best spots to hide for this hill are all exposed for barn. I get shot in the back there, but it's no big deal. We're going to get set up for the next one. We don't have the best spawn for scrapyard, but we can still make a push through to inside. And they're going to be set up here. I'm just going to wait for my team to push around right side. Oh. And here's another spot for if you're outside of the hill and you have an AR. You can go up here, double jump up, and you can get usually a few picks. I know my teammate was trying to do the same thing to me, so it was kind of stupid. But don't get caught trying to do that constantly. It's just kind of a situational thing. If they're in the back right corner, it's a really good spot to check. But I'm going to try and contest this, get gold to my RK5, and I get picked. But I'm going to come through 10 and just try and get the people out of the corners. So basically you want to just be as mobile as possible in these situations. In the hardpoint games, you want to hold the spawns, and you want to get the best lines of sight. Those are the best tips I can give anyone for playing Anchor. So right here, it's getting close to the rotation. I'm already going to set up in my spot to catch them off their rotation. So if they come out of that hallway from tin, then I basically have a free kill, because it's hard for them to kill me whenever I'm in this spot pre-aiming with an enemy, unless they slide past. But once they give up and stop coming from tin side, then I'm going to switch over to the railroad, or if I get killed there. But that just shows the importance of holding the spawn, because if you can spawn all the way back by back behind those silos, it's 10 times better than if you have to come all the way through tin, because if they're set up, then it's really hard to break the hill. But if you have that spot in the back spawn and your SMG players are doing well inside the house, then this hill is probably the best hill in the game, or best hill on Fringe, just because it's really easy to hold, it's really easy to set up, and it's really easy to rotate onto the next one. So hope you guys enjoy my video. I hope you guys learned something from this. If you have any tips, if you have any thoughts on how I can improve my videos, then let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
Good job, CDP. Mission reassignments inbound.